We're live.
Are we?
That's a shame.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for everybody watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another one of these.
I mean, it's a pretty big number.
I guess that's true.
Big round number.
Big and round, just like us.
Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome to episode number 900 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Happy 900, CJ.
Happy 900. And what a celebration we have here. Nice round number. You can see I am decked out in festive I've
gray
my
Parappa garb.
Self out in Parappa the rapper garb. And it's a good time. It's a good time. 900. Woo! Anyway.
Hooray for us.
Hooray for us.
100 to go and we can quit.
That's right. That's when season 2 starts. Get ready for that. That's when the twists really happen.
It's when the scores can really add up.
The new cast takes over.
Yep. All the kids will be ready.
Yep.
Our parts will be recast. New voices for us. It'll be real
AI.
good.
We're going to AI voices.
That would be great. Yeah. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
I mean, better.
You're back.
I'm back. Better than ever.
Yeah.
I was sick. I don't know if you heard.
I heard that. We mentioned it on the show. I don't know if you listened to last week's show.
No,
I can't listen to podcasts. There's something with my computer that I don't think I have hooked up right.
It's not on the internet.
And I don't know.
Can't do it.
I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
No, I was ill. I was taken by laryngitis.
Do you have a license to ill?
Well, that's why I got in so much trouble.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, the Beastie Boys tried to warn you.
Did anybody else think the name of the album was Licensed to 3?
No, I did not.
I don't know.
Because in the Columbia House ads, get 5 CDs for a penny. It said licensed to
3,
ill, but the capital I and then lowercase l and L.
Well, I understand how you would.
Sense.
Yeah, I understand how you would mistake that.
Confusion over why you would take it as a Roman numeral 3.
I haven't listened to License to 1 or 2 yet, so
I know I would be completely lost from the narrative.
I'm not going to understand the plot of this album.
I'm going to say because I was 10 years old when that album came out. I just had to go look it up to see when it came out. And I can't say that I would have mistaken ILL for. I don't think I would have known what a Roman numeral 3 was at 10.
At 10,
no?
You didn't know.
Yeah. You didn't know.
Why would I know Roman numerals?
Because how would you not know the year certain motion pictures were copyrighted?
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good.
I would have been 9 years old. So
2 plus Rocky 5.
Rocky V.
Adrian's Revenge. I always have a vast library of Simpsons quotes at my disposal.
Plus, I'm trying to look it up. Like, did the album cover even have the words "Licensed to Ill" on it? I don't think it did.
No, it doesn't.
So another reason why I would not have mistaken it. So did you have a Columbia House? Did you use Columbia House? Did you really?
I did. Yeah, not for CDs at this time. It would have been cassettes.
Well, no, because who the hell owned a CD player in 1986?
Exactly. It would have been cassettes. But yeah.
See, I used Columbia House for movies when they started doing VHS.
Really?
I had a very big VHS collection when I was a teenager because I jumped right into the Columbia House movie club.
I never took part in the Columbia House.
Have I told this story on the
ecosystem
on the show? I think I have. My parents.
Your mom's penchant for
For what?
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh, I've definitely talked about that on
Oh
this
yeah,
show.
that's like one of my favorite stories.
But no, when we got a VCR and we were big fans of the movie A Christmas Story.
Who isn't?
Who isn't now, but back when that movie came out and came out on VHS, nobody was a fan of it. And
I never saw that movie until I was in my 20s.
it was one of
and I
those
love it.
movies that was priced for rental. You
Right.
could not buy a copy
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was priced for rental, so it was like $100. But it was offered via the Columbia House movie, the VHS thing. You could do it for 5 movies for a penny or whatever. So my parents got the Columbia House membership for A Christmas Story,
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
and then it probably ended up buying way too many.
Well, that's how they get you, right?
movies. Yeah,
Buy
I
for a penny,
wonder
and then
how,
you got to buy like 10 more at full price.
yeah.
I wonder how many people know or remember that. Yeah, like movies were priced for rental
Yeah.
for quite a long time.
Yes.
It was, what was it? Was it Batman that kind of kicked off the home video?
I don't know if Batman was the first
But I think it was
I
the
don't
one
think
that
it
made
was.
it
priced for
popular.
purchase, but it was certainly one of the first.
Yeah, I think it was the one that made it popular.
Oh,
Right.
that would not surprise me.
Because I remember, I mean, this would have been in the 90s.
Jurassic Park.
No, it was
Yeah.
a friend of a friend. Basically, they wanted Transformers the movie,
Okay.
and that was not a movie you could buy.
Right.
So they had to order it through a distributor, and I think they paid well over $100 for it.
Yeah.
For the
Worth every
VHS.
penny.
Oh, absolutely! I rember going over to his place and watching it. It was great.
Right. Absolutely.
A fun side note to that story.
You know.
This might take a little while, but so the person who bought that, it was a customer at a store called Game World, which is where I eventually ended up working, but I was good friends with somebody who worked there, Jim. CJ's best friend, Mike's best friend, Jim. Anyway, so this guy Robin was the guy who ordered Transformers, and he had 2 buddies that he hung out with. I forget the first guy's name, but the other guy's name was Rob. And anyway, he ordered this. When it came in, he invited Jim and I over to watch it with them. So we did. We didn't really hang out with that group, but we did watch that movie together. Years later, when I met my wife to be, when we were engaged, her brother was I didn't meet him right away because he was living and working in Scotland. And then he happened to move back home. And when he moved home, I was freelancing at the time, so I was home all day through the week. And my fiance at that point was like, "Well, why don't you invite him over and you guys can hang out? He loves video games. You can." 360 was out at that point. That's around so it's 2006, 2007. He wants to see the 360. Yeah, cool. That's great. So he came over. We hung out all day. This was the first time we were ever meeting. And as I was driving him home, we were driving past the park where Game World was. It was long closed at that point. And somehow we got on the subject of, there's this great video game store there called Game World. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, me and my buddies used to go there all the time." And then he started to tell the story about how his buddy Robin had bought Transformers from that store. And that was when we realized that we had watched Transformers together at Robin's place when we were teenagers.
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
It was awesome. I don't talk to him anymore. Anyway,
Wow.
no,
But you'll always have Transformers the movie.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Rob's great. But anyway, it was funny because like we were meeting each other for the first time, and then we had that realization as I was driving him back over to his parents' place. Like, oh, actually, we met 20 years ago.
That's funny.
And then I married his sister. So
there you go.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
That's our show for this week.
Good night,
Should we talk
everyone.
about
Happy 900.
video games?
I've got better things to do tonight than die.
Do you really?
Not really.
That was a good Starship Troopers
Thank you.
reference. Yeah.
You want to live forever?
By the way, I have purchased Starship Troopers and I'm ready to watch.
I thought you were. Okay.
What?
I watched it today.
Yeah, I watched it last week.
Oh, well, why did you watch it?
I thought we were.
I thought we were gonna.
No,
we
of
were
course
doing an
not.
after show about it.
We're
No,
doing an
of
after
course
show
not.
about it.
Of course not. We have a quiz.
What? Jesus Christ! You mean I have to watch that again?
Yeah. Or you could just play Helldivers too. Alrighty.
How's your short-term memory doing, Greg?
It's bad.
I watched a movie 2 weeks ago.
I
Don't remember a thing
that
about it.
happened in it. Yes. Let's talk about video games, shall we? Because we got a partner direct this past week, Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. And there were a couple really interesting announcements. I thought this was a great partner direct, personally. And in big part because we got Pocket Card Jockey Ride On for the Switch.
I remember you guys were. So that was a DS game previously, 3DS game, or
It's a 3DS game.
3DS game. You guys were really into that.
By Game Freak.
It was the eShop game.
Yes, eShop game originally. Then a year ago, Pocket Card Jockey Ride On was released for Apple Arcade.
Yep.
Where it is still available. And now we have it on Nintendo Switch for $15.
15 American
US.
Yeah,
USD.
that's right.
USD.
Yeah. So that's pretty great. I immediately bought it, of course, and have been enjoying it immensely.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, it sure is. But we also got a new Monkey Ball announcement. We got Grounded and Pentiment from Microsoft.
Like you said, was going
Did I
to
say that?
Well, we talked about it last week a little bit.
Well,
I mean,
it was
you
only
didn't
rumored.
Say that, but it was rumored.
Microsoft had
was
not
Ah.
officially announced that the what the 4 games were going to be that they were bringing to other systems. But
what I'm saying is, I'm not giving you credit for guessing correctly. There were rumors that you were
there were rumors.
regurgitating.
But not only that, Rare also released. Well, I guess Nintendo released 4 Rare games on NSO.
Oh.
Killer Instinct and Battletoads and Battle Maniacs for Super NES.
Mhm.
Snake Rattle and Roll and RC Pro-Am. Did I say 4 games? I guess it's more than 4. RC Pro-Am for the NES, and then Blast Core.
Oh, right,
for the
Blast
N64.
Yeah, 2 good games.
Which 2 are you saying?
Which 2 do you think I'm saying?
I'm going to say RC Pro-Am
Okay.
and Blast
Core.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. Those are the 2 I'd pick. Although,
Yeah.
you know what? I liked Snake Rattle and Roll.
I
It's
never
rough.
played it.
It's
I
a little
never played
rough,
that.
but I did like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you guys? Well, Phil already basically answered it. You guys weren't Killer Instinct guys.
Oh,
No.
goodness, no.
Same. Never was.
Absolutely.
Although it did look pretty awesome in the arcade, I do have to say.
It did.
It was very impressive looking.
My one big memory of Killer Instinct was shortly after I first got hired at EGM. And this was right before the N64's release. And of course, we had like the Japanese systems, and Nintendo at one point came by. I guess the system would have been out for a while, right? Because Killer Instinct
Gold came out later.
Yeah. So this was this was a little later. So some Nintendo rep came by to show off Killer Instinct Gold for the N64, and we're all gathered around. We're playing it. We're taking turns, and I had a turn going up against the Nintendo person, and I explained. I was like, "Hey, I don't really know this game. I don't really know the characters' moves. I've played it once or twice in the arcades, but that game is very much you memorize a string of combos, and that's how you play it. Don't worry about it. So I just start button mashing and completely demolish the Nintendo rep. Just like, I don't know if they were perfect rounds, but I, ended up pulling off elaborate strings of combos and just wiped him out very quickly. And he was just like, "Wow, you're actually really good. You must actually know this game really well." And I was just like, "Well, no, I'm just hitting random buttons.
Yeah, and that's Killer
It's
Instinct.
not a good game. I mean, I didn't say that part,
right.
but
Yeah.
but it was just like
Hmm.
this is what happens when you give
I
someone who
mean-
really knows nothing about this game. They can
I
just
mean, I don't know. I think it served a specific market.
Certainly.
I mean, it looked
yeah.
It
looked
wasn't
real
Mortal
pretty.
Kombat, and it wasn't Street Fighter, and it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to look really pretty, and it
Right.
did. And
course it
if
did, yeah.
that meant that you could stand there and mash the buttons and have some really impressive stuff happen on screen, sure.
There you
Wasn't
go.
for me.
Combo breaker.
Yeah, wasn't for me, but there was in our GT7 racing league, one of the drivers, Wanster, he does some highlight videos
Mhm.
of some of our races. And there was a video he did where he had gotten wrecked by another driver, and he put in a Killer Instinct. This is the latest version of Killer Instinct. He put in a video of a combo that it went on for some ungodly amount of time. I mean, it was ridiculous, and I didn't know that you could do that in the latest Killer. Like when I'm watching it, I was like, this can't be real. But yeah, I mean, I forget the number of hits. It was in the hundreds. It was stupid.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, Killer Instinct.
Yeah. Well, we got Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed announced during this
Yeah.
trip. What do you think about that?
Have you guys ever played those games?
I think
Like,
I played
really
the
played
demo
them?
of the second one,
I
and
played a little
like
of the first one and kind of
Yeah.
bounced off it because I didn't like the motion control
The
stuff,
motion controls. Yep. Same here.
which I'm guessing probably aren't going to be here this time around. So
It didn't
no, because
look
it's on
like
other
it.
platforms besides
mean,
the Switch too.
It was released on the PS3 as well, was it not? It was released on a non-motion control platform. One of them
was it really?
Yeah, I mean Epic Mickey 2 at least. I think it was multi.
Two was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about the
So-
first one.
But I'm the same as Phil. This Epic Mickey always felt like a game that I would really like. I love the concept, and I'm a big Disney fan. But I was the same way. I have a copy, and I played it immediately, and I just hated it.
Yeah.
Because of the controls and because of the ramifications of that on the camera. Was the problem for me. And then I went back and tried to play it again years later, and again the motion controls were just like, this is awful. So I'm excited about this because I do actually want to play this game, and I have always wanted to play it. So I would like to try this out if it's non-motion control.
I have to imagine it's non-motion control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also got a new Super Monkey Ball game, Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. I know you're very excited. Speechless.
You already brought this up.
Did
You
I?
said this right at the beginning. Yeah.
Well, we didn't talk about it.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. It's a new Monkey Ball. It's
New
awesome.
Monkey Ball. Okay. What about
It
Endless
looks
Ocean
cool.
Luminous?
The multiplayer stuff looks cool in that.
That
Looks like it
that's
could
true.
be completely chaotic. Here's another. So Endless Ocean. There's another one. How like you guys? Did you guys really play the first one? Well, there are two, right? Endless Ocean.
There were
There were
two.
two.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I think EGM gave it a bad score, right? Did they give it a 0 because it wasn't a game?
Wasn't that the
Right.
one that they reviewed as like a separate little call out thing? It was
Yes.
basically just like, this isn't a game, so we're not treating it like a game,
Yeah, I thought that was super weird.
and we're giving it a really low score
Like,
because
why? Why even give it ink?
it's not a game.
But a lot of people like Endless Ocean.
It was a weird stance to take.
It was a very weird stance to take. Yes.
Although, wasn't this also kind of like, wasn't EGM kind of in that whole like baby game cycle at that point too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
So-
that baby game cycle lasted a little while.
it really did.
I mean, even in the late 90s, as we've been doing review quizzes on the after show and rereading some of those, like how often games are hand waved away by this is good for the kids or this will be
Right.
good for kiddies.
Yeah.
Just like why would you look at games that way? Like games
Well,
that,
You got to have that
It's-
90s
it's-
edge, man.
it's not like you're reviewing Barbie Horse Adventure. This was like Klonoa. Right?
Like genuinely great games
Like genuine, yeah, good
that just aren't
games.
like
It's good for the kids.
shooting, you know, anything that wasn't a like a military shooter.
Cartoony graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might be one for
So
the kiddies, I suppose, but
outside of EGM though, I feel like that game was pretty well received. I'm trying to remember.
which one?
Endless
Endless
Ocean?
Ocean?
Endless Ocean, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it was well received.
I think I have a copy and I remember playing it and I mean it was very pretty, but I seem to remember that I felt like there was no progression in it.
No.
Well, it's not a game.
It's not.
Well,
it's,
yeah, that's what EGM said.
How many games nowadays would be considered not a game? We're just collecting things like this isn't a game. Marvel Snap, not a game. How about let's talk about Penny's Big Breakaway because this was a shadow drop.
It might be something good
Yeah.
for the kiddies.
Yeah.
Cartoony graphics.
I didn't watch the direct when it happened and I was just sort of catching up on it before the show and I want to go check out reviews on this since it was shadow dropped because I think it looks interesting. I do like I really love how the double jump, it looks like basically what would be her double jump is more like her just swinging from the yo-yo, like it's attaching to random points in space. Like it looks like you don't need to have an actual attach point to do it. And then she swings on it and it's like, oh, that's an interesting modification to the idea of a double jump, right? So
yeah,
that looks cool. I think it looks really nice. It looks nice and colorful.
am
But I
curious
definitely
about
want to hear about it before I spend any money on it.
Yeah, because is it $30?
it's $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I'm still that's kind of just outside the bounds of me doing an impulse buy.
Right.
Without really like seeing too much about it. So
Right.
But also, I have too many freaking games that I'm playing. Like, I looked at it, I was like, "Ooh, I'm kind of interested in this," but I have so many games that I'm like in the middle of and want to play more than this.
Right.
That I don't think I can do it. But yeah, this is from Christian Whitehead and the team that made Sonic Mania.
Yep. Which is a good game.
Which is a good really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this looks very akin to a 3D Sonic game mashed up with Billy Hatcher, and it very much, I think, evokes the sort of early 2000s Sega vibe.
It's got a GameCube vibe to it.
Yeah. Or Dreamcast. Late Dreamcast, early GameCube, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely
absolutely
a lot of Sega in that for sure.
Can never have enough.
Yeah. If you did not play the Pepper Grinder demo on Steam during the Next Fest, it is available on the Switch. So go do that because Pepper Grinder is great.
Seems pretty good.
It comes out March 28th.
Okay.
We got a date for that. So very, very excited.
It's pretty close.
Very excited about that. Do you guys see anything else in the direct that you want to call out?
I got a list here in front of me. I think you pretty much covered everything that I was kind of interested in.
Yeah.
I'm excited about another Crab's Treasure. That is a cartoony Souls-like game that you can make more palatable by adjusting accessibility settings. I really had fun with the demo of that. That was in Next Fest last year, Steam Next Fest. They had a demo last year, and I'm kind of looking forward to that one. So that comes out April 25th. And of course, the Contra game.
I was just going to say, there was a couple things.
Yeah,
that I will be
that we would
talking
be talking about that later. Yeah,
in what we have been playing.
Yes, yes,
such as the Contra game.
Indeed. Well, so in that Nintendo Direct, we got two Microsoft games, Grounded and Pentiment. Grounded actually kicked off the partner showcase, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then we also got the announcement the same day of the Direct that Hi-Fi Rush is coming out on PlayStation 5 on March 19th.
Yes.
Followed by
It's like the end of the Dreamcast all over again.
Sea of Thieves coming out on PS5 on April 30th. So the 4 games now completely announced, and all 4 out before the end of April. So that's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, really.
These had to have been in the planning stages for quite a while for this to all kind of line up like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm excited about Sea of Thieves on PS5. I will be buying it again, of course, and playing it on PlayStation 5. I think it's a great time for people who have not played the game to hop in, because I think, like I mentioned last week, they've made some changes recently to the new player onboarding that makes the game just a lot easier to understand and play for short sessions. And they added that safer seas mode where no other players are on the server with you. So I think now's a great time to bring it to another platform. And here we are, April 30th.
So you're not going to abandon it for Skull and Bones?
Well, that was never going to happen. Let's be real.
CJ would never abandon ship.
I mean, I like Skull and Bones for what that game is, even though apparently it has fewer than 1 million players or something like that. Or was it lower than that? Apparently it's not doing.
I mean, if it is
well.
lower than that, it's also lower than 1 million.
Yeah.
True.
But
math checks out.
But
Yeah.
they have like a free 8-hour trial. You can play the game for free for 8 hours, and that apparently not moving the needle for Ubisoft. So there you go. But very excited about Sea of Thieves on PS5. Phil, are you going to purchase Hi-Fi Rush on PS5? And Limited Run Games is doing a physical version of Hi-Fi Rush for Xbox and for PlayStation 5.
I will be buying the physical PS5 one, yes.
Are you going to also buy the digital only version? Play through it again on PS5?
I don't know if I'm going to double dip on the PS5 for that.
Yeah.
I've played the game recently enough that I'm not itching to play through it again. And like you said, a lot of other stuff on my plate at the moment. So
yeah,
I think I'm probably safe buying the physical and playing it again in 18 to 20 months when it shows up.
You think it'll be
probably
that long?
A good amount of time for me to.
It won't be that long, right? Who knows?
It's limited runs, so it's probably a pretty solid chance that it'll be, yeah. But
I see. Well, we did not get Hi-Fi Rush announced for the Switch. That was the one other
which was surprising
based on the data mine leak.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising, but maybe they're going to launch it on Switch 2 instead.
Who knows?
Whenever that happens. I have to imagine Sea of Thieves is in that same boat.
And
we'll come.
I got back just in time for that, and I'm pretty excited about
it.
There you golly.
Go. Yeah.
Oh boy. That was a good one.
I know. All right.
The real news, CJ.
Yeah, real news. Tell me.
The real news, these seem to be kind of blowing past here.
Yeah.
You got all
any news.
Your pile of art is gone.
Oh, well, it's not gone.
Your pile of art has been redistributed.
Redistributed, yes.
To the walls where it should be.
To the walls. You probably recognize some of the things that are now on the wall.
From the windows to the walls.
That's right. Yeah.
I can see your beautiful art. Yeah. Let's see. I'm seeing some arcade marquees.
You are. Seeing
for Pac-Man, for Super Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And both the original Q*bert.
Well, that's just a poster, but it's signed by Warren Davis.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I'm seeing your signed Dragon's Lair poster.
Yeah.
I'm seeing your giant metal board full of magnets.
You are seeing that.
And I'm seeing I'm assuming those are 2 animation cells.
They are. Yeah.
The top one looks like Kevin from Captain N, the Game Master. Is that correct?
You are correct.
Is the bottom one a Ranma 1/2 cell?
It is a Ranma 1/2 cell.
Cool. Is it Dr. Tofu, your doppelganger?
It is indeed Dr. Tofu, my doppelganger. Yeah.
Excellent.
A gift
I know you so
from
well, CJ.
Ronnie Yu, if you'll remember.
Oh my gosh. That was a gift from Ronnie?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She had heard I don't this was before I'd even met her, I think. She
Really?
had heard that I liked Ranma and
That
brought
sounds about
this
right.
to the
Yeah.
office, and it was already framed, and I was like, "Holy crap." Yeah. So,
Now is there someone else in that cell? Is it like Kasumi or something in there?
no, it is just female Ranma and Dr. Tofu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is it.
Okay. That is
But,
amazing.
That's a fantastic cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I got to say, your room's
Yeah.
looking a little empty now. It's weird seeing floor.
It's weird seeing floor. Well, there is going to be a chair back there.
Okay.
So that'll wow. got a thumbs up for that.
CJ's getting a little thumbs up there.
Yeah.
There it goes.
There it goes again. So there will be a chair there. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Is that one of your gamer chairs?
no, it's not. It's not a gamer
Okay.
chair. And then I have I bought a copy of Bubsy 3D for PlayStation.
Yes.
To replace the
I remember
copy that I no longer have, and I'm going to frame that as well. I think. Put that
That's beautiful. You absolutely should frame it.
Yeah.
You should sign it first for future generations.
Absolutely should. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. More importantly, let's talk about more important announcements. Picross S Plus coming to the
Okay,
Switch
that is more
February
important.
29th. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. It's very good. Hey, during the direct, Japan got another NSO announcement that we didn't get. It's Mother 3 is coming. Well, it's already out on the GBA NSO in
Yes.
Japan. Yeah.
Were you blowing past Picross that quickly?
You want to talk more about Picross? Go ahead.
My friend, I would talk about nothing but Picross if you let me.
Oh, that's true.
I'm very I've already pre-ordered my copy of Picross S Plus.
Yeah.
And all available DLC.
Oh, you can pre-order it? I didn't realize it was
You
up for
can.
pre-order. Well.
So for those who don't know, Picross S Plus is a re-release of the old Picross E series, which came out on the 3DS. And you purchase and download Picross S Plus for $5. And that includes all the puzzles that were in the very first Picross E game. And then you can purchase all the puzzles from E2, E3, E4, all the way up to E9 for an additional $5 each.
Yeah.
So 45 bones get you the whole Picross E experience.
The whole kit and caboodle.
And Picross S, or not Picross S, but Picross E9, which is the final DLC available for this, was never released outside Japan before. So
there you go.
Something new.
Something new.
But yeah, it's all sitting on my Switch right now, waiting to unlock.
Nice.
Very excited.
I see that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, hey, let's talk about something else that's very exciting. And that is Llamasoft, the Gold Master Series entry the Digital Eclipse is doing comes out on March 13th. So
excellent.
We can get ready for that. I'm excited about that. That documentary series has been really, really good. I guess there's only been one installment, although I'm counting Atari 50.
Well, you can't count Atari 50, and
Yeah.
It's the same style.
Right.
And I really, really like those. And
I'll be getting this more for the fact that it's more of that.
Yes.
Less about Llamasoft is interesting, and I'm sure what's in there is going to be very interesting, but I'm not really like a particular fan. So
yeah,
but I'm still going to be getting this because I'm sure it'll be amazing.
I'm excited to play Attack of the Mutant Space Camels because that was the screenshot of that was shown in EGM along with the story about the Connix multi-system, and
I believe it's just Attack of the Mutant Camels.
Mutant camels.
I don't believe they're space
No,
camels.
no space camels? Okay.
I don't think so. I think they
Well,
are
anyway,
terrestrial Terran camels that have been mutated.
I believe in EGM it was called Castlevania 5, though. So different, different thing entirely. But no, I love
the joke that only I and probably Greg really get.
Yeah.
Ed Semrad, former editor-in-chief of EGM, would often just make up names for video games to put on the cover because he thought that those names would sell better.
Yeah.
The Fighting Vipers, nobody knows what that is.
Wrong.
No, it was Fighters Megamix, wasn't it?
Was it Megamix?
Oh yeah, and they call it Virtua Fighter 4.
Yeah. Yeah, just call it Virtua Fighter 4. No one knows what a Fighter's Megamix is. That's not the name of the game. I don't care.
I remember seeing the first shots of Shining Force in EGM under the title Shining in the Darkness 2.
There you go.
Yep. I would not be
Everyone knows what that is.
Same situation. Yeah.
Really great boss.
Really great.
Anyway,
yeah, Gold Master Series continues March 13th. Very excited about that.
And Greg, kind of going off your point about how, you're not super into the Llamasoft stuff. I mean, I certainly wasn't big, super big into Karateka.
Well, and that too. Yeah.
No, but it was easier to I was still really interested in the subject matter because
that's just it, right?
Right.
And
but that's what I'm saying. It's like I look at his body of work.
Right.
And Tempest 2000 is awesome.
Right.
But I've never really been a fan otherwise.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas, yeah.
I'm going to say this, watching through all the behind the scenes documentary footage of Karateka and playing all those kind of like the prototypes that led up to it and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's why I know I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, gave me a greater appreciation for it, so I'm kind of expecting the same here.
Yeah.
So,
while we were talking about this, it would be great to get one of these kinds of historical documentaries about Kojima and Kojima's Konami era games, but that'll never happen.
Speaking of that, there is a Kojima documentary on one of the streaming services right now.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, right.
Really?
Yeah.
There is. But I don't think they talk about Snatcher.
No, I think it's mostly Death Stranding.
Mostly Death Stranding. Probably nothing Konami, but I think that would be super interesting to hear him talk about Metal Gear.
Oh, absolutely.
Snatcher, Police Knots, etc. That'll never happen though, right?
There's just a documentary and it's just about like his most recent game.
Well, I think it was a friend of mine watched it and said that it seems like it's a couple years old.
Yeah.
So it might have actually been part of like a marketing push for
like when it came out. Yeah. So it's a crummy commercial. That's what I'm hearing.
There you go. So PSVR turned 1 year old.
That's how many games are out for it.
How many Sony exclusive games are out for it? Yeah. And they announced some other games for it as well, including Little Cities is coming to PSVR 2, which if you've not played it, Little Cities is one of my favorite VR games. It's great. There's a zombie army game coming to VR. Wander, The Fragments of Fate, The Wizard's Dark Times, Brotherhood. Let's put all the keywords into one title. Was this an eShop game? And then they announced that they are working on PC compatibility with the PSVR 2 headset. No real details.
Oh, yeah, right.
But PC support apparently coming in 2024. So stay tuned. But I just can't really get excited about that since you can play PC VR games using the Quest, and that's probably what I'm going to do, untethered, instead of using a wired PSVR 2. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm not excited about PSVR 2 anymore.
No.
And it sucks because PSVR 2, I mean, the display is really good. The eye tracking's awesome. The force feedback in the headset is great. And the controllers are awesome. And they just haven't made any like really great first party games, aside from Call of the Mountain, which I think is still a good game, but very sort of tech demo-y ultimately. Yeah, kind of sucks.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
It's a great piece of hardware.
It truly is. But staying on the virtual reality tip, you may have noticed that a little company called Enhance Experience announced that Humanity is coming to MetaQuest headsets in March.
Speaking of crummy commercials,
very, very exciting announcement. Finally, can talk
what
about
game?
that. Humanity.
Oh,
You know the one.
The Humanity.
The Humanity.
I see.
Oh, the Humanity. Yeah. Released last May on other platforms, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Steam, now coming out on the MetaQuest, and it runs really awesome. It looks great. It's super fun to play in VR. Hopefully people will check that out. It's available for pre-order right now at a 20% off discount. So you can get it for 20 bones USD.
Bargain at twice the price.
Well, I'll charge you. You can pay me an extra $20. Phil,
Wow.
if you want.
I will. Do you take checks?
No, not anymore.
Phil's gonna
There
move
was
some
that-
money around. You might have to
Yeah.
wait to cash
There
it.
was that situation.
I got some things going on here. I'll take care of it.
Got to get
Yeah.
hold of his accountant.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the news. Yeah.
All right.
So let's talk
was
about
good news.
the games that we've been playing. And Phil, you're
Yeah?
up first.
Oh my
Although
goodness!
I don't see Mario versus Donkey Kong in this list. Have you been playing that?
Gasp.
I did pick it up.
Yeah.
I did pick it up. I played through a couple levels of it. I played through
Then
the
you
first.
realized it wasn't Donkey Kong 94 and stopped playing it?
There will never be another Donkey Kong 94.
It would have been. They could have called it Donkey
Yeah.
Kong 24. It would have been perfect.
I mean, for what it's worth, the Donkey Kong 94 is not actually called Donkey Kong 94.
I know,
Donkey
but they
Kong.
still could have.
I mean, yeah, they absolutely could have. But what I did, I mean, like I said, I did play a little Mario versus Donkey Kong, but just a couple levels. But related to the Nintendo Direct, I did indeed download the demo of Contra Operation Galaga.
Me too.
Me
Galaga.
too. But for PS5.
Galuga? Operation Galuga
Mm-hmm.
is its subtitle. I downloaded the demo on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
How was that?
Then I downloaded the demo on the PS5.
What happened
Yeah.
in between those two moments?
I deleted the demo off one of those devices.
What are you trying to say, Phil?
I don't know what happened. I've seen WayForward do good games on Switch. I've seen them create games that run well on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Contra Operation Galuga doesn't seem like a game that would require the resources beyond the capabilities of the Switch. So
Yeah.
I downloaded the demo again on the PS5 and it ran quite well on
There
the
you go.
It does run
PS5.
really well on the PS5.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
I have seen a lot of people bagging on the visuals
Really?
in this game.
It does have kind of a Xbox Live Arcade vibe to it.
I mean, because
I'm
it
not
can't,
super big on the
can't be a
visuals
big
myself.
budget title.
What's that?
Konami, I don't think spent a whole lot of money making this.
No, and I'm sure they didn't. But also, it kind of has that Xbox Live Arcade vibe to it.
I think it also
Hmm.
suffers from, which I think might actually be the same thing, is that taking something that like it's clearly it's replicating obviously the old 2D Contras,
Yeah.
Right.
and turning that into even while still playing in 2D but making everything 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Something gets lost there.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Like always. So and yeah, it's definitely suffering from that. Although I think that's a nitpick. It plays. I'm really happy with the way it plays. It plays exactly the way I want it to.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
on the PS5 demo that I played,
right.
it was amusing because the first time I played a demo of it, I thought to myself, I guess I'm not buying this, but then I played another demo of it and realized, oh yeah, I'll pick this up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does play well on the PS5. And yeah, even though I'm not super keen on the visual aesthetics of it, it plays pretty darn well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Isn't it supposed to be a remake of the first game?
No.
Is that what
I-
it's
It's got
supposed to be?
elements.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, like
it's
certainly the first stage, you're
Very
going
similar.
through the
Yeah.
jungle and
the
Yeah.
big
you know.
bridges and everything.
yeah, and you go up the waterfall, and the first boss is kind of an homage to the it's very clearly kind of banking on that nostalgia of the original game.
Yeah.
It is a reimagining of Contra.
Is it?
Are
Okay.
That
you
is
reading
what
this
it's
somewhere?
supposed to be. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it's funny though, because it really, even playing that first, and I actually ended up dying in the waterfall section the couple times that I played it, but it feels like a real mishmash of Contra, Super C, and Contra 3.
Mm.
Like there feels like there's elements of all of them kind
Yeah.
of in like there's one point in the beginning, like Phil was saying, you start off in like the jungle. I mean, you're in your jungle the whole time, but it's clearly based on the first level of the first game. Although there are small differences, like the bridges don't just automatically explode. I think a lot of times there are guys crawling underneath the bridges, and I think they'll actually blow up sections of them if you don't kill them in time. Because I did have one of the bridges explode on me, but I didn't figure out why it happened, and then I noticed those guys.
Yeah.
But then, like at one point, you end up running up a slope, and it's very much from the first level of Super C. Like it's
That's
the
right.
exact same
Yeah.
as that sort of section in the very first level of Super C. And yeah, like when you get to that first sort of boss, it is definitely based on Contra, but also, I mean, they reused that in Contra 3 as well.
Oh yeah.
And it's got the weapon swapping from Contra 3,
Yep.
although it's been enhanced because you can actually upgrade the weapons
Very
as
cool.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you're into the waterfall section, which again is straight out of the first Contra.
You
So,
can give yourself like you can
Perks.
pick which characters you want to control, and the characters have different like perks that you can assign to them.
yeah,
And like one of the perks could be like, oh, you retain your weapon
love
after
that.
you die, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
little gameplay tweaks.
I like
But
that.
And you got to
No,
double
I'm-
jump.
I
you
am
gotta
enjoying it.
slide, and like it's very much an enhanced. It's got the it's got the spirit of the original Contras, but
Yeah.
it feels modern.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the demo.
Yep.
So pretty excited about that. Interesting. How did you try story mode and arcade mode?
I only tried the story.
So story mode, it actually has, I don't want to call it a lengthy cutscene. It feels lengthy for Contra.
Right.
Because I'm just like, I just wanted to start playing because there's like a whole opening cinema, and they've added a radio buddy, which, whatever. Not crazy about that. It always makes me, anytime I hear a radio buddy in a game at this point, I don't know if either of you watched the YouTube series Game Sack, but Joe from Game Sack, he hates the whole radio buddy thing, and after every one of his episodes, he always does like a comedy sketch, just a short comedy sketch, and he's done a few Radio Buddy sketches, and they're hilarious. And anytime I hear one in a game, I can only hear it in his voice. But anyway, if you play arcade mode, all that's gone.
Oh, okay.
You just jump right into the first level and you're playing.
So it's the
And
same.
there are more characters available in arcade mode.
Okay, so it's the same level,
Yeah,
just without the story stuff.
yeah, but like you have what are the main characters' names? Bill and
Dylan,
Duke or something, or
I don't remember.
Josh? I don't know.
But isn't
But
like the Probotectors are in there, right?
the Probotectors are in there in arcade mode, and there's a female character who you see in that opening cinema really quick. She's
okay.
You see her for a few seconds, but then they don't really explain who she is, or
Right.
but in arcade mode you can actually choose to play as her. So
Lance,
that's it. Yep.
Bill and Lance, right?
Yeah, Arnie and
Yeah,
Sylvester.
we got it.
Yeah.
Aha, beat Scoop Joey to the chat.
I was pretty close with Josh, I felt, but yeah. So arcade mode, if the story stuff is like, nah,
right,
arcade mode gets rid of it. So, but yeah, really, really excited for it. Actually, this made me. I probably would have wanted to get it anyway, but this makes me feel good about it. This is like, I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'll still get it, but at least now it's good. So
yeah.
As long as it's not on Switch.
Yeah, don't buy it on Switch. Based on
I guess
they could played great.
They could potentially fix it, I guess.
Yeah,
but I'd wait for reviews if I wanted it on Switch. Yeah.
I also downloaded, and this was announced in the Nintendo Direct as well. The hot new DLC to the puzzle game sensation, CJ's beloved Suika game.
I love Suikoden.
This is a different one. This is a different game.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there 108 stars in it?
No, but there are 108 delicious fruit that you can combine to form more fruit.
Yeah.
This is there's multiplayer mode for Suika game, the watermelon game. Currently, I think it was cheap. It was like $3 max. And I mean, the core game is what, $2 or $3. It's also cheap.
Yeah.
I think you can buy. I think they have a bundle where you can get the game and the DLC for like $5. So very cheap. Certainly worth the price.
Yeah. So you've been playing multiplayer?
I have played a little multiplayer. My wife and I played a bit.
Yeah.
Because she enjoys that game as well. The multiplayer is currently offline only, little couch co-op.
Yeah.
Well, not co-op, but couch versus.
Yeah.
Online mode is coming later, though. So, as part of this DLC purchase, it adds 3 new game modes for multiplayer. There's like a standard one where you're just both playing in the pit. You have your individual pits that you're playing, trying to go for high scores. There is a timed match, which you have 5 minutes to play. Again, you're both in your own little pits matching fruit. And you have 5 minutes. And the gimmick of this, aside from the standard time limit, is that it forces you to drop your fruit. There's a little rainbow above your cursor, and it fills up with color or drains with color or whatever. And when it fills up, it automatically drops your fruit. So you have to kind of keep dropping. It doesn't give you a lot of time to aim your shot. So, and then as the time runs out of the match, as the match comes closer to the end, that little drop meter starts going faster and faster. So by the end, you really don't have much time to aim at all. It's just kind of automatically dropping your fruit, and you're frantically moving it around. So that actually is pretty fun, and starts off slow and then kind of ramps up to be more exciting. And then the final one is an attack where you can drop garbage on the other player. And the way that works is each player has a little circular meter. Each time you match a fruit, the meter fills up a bit. And I think once you get 6 matches, a random fruit appears over the enemy pit, and you can tap a button and it'll drop it into the pit.
Cool.
But if you refrain from dropping it and make 6 more matches, the fruit becomes one of the bigger fruits. So you drop, more dangerous garbage. And if you let it fill up a 3rd time, you can start dropping like the giant pineapples on people, which are obviously bigger and fills up more of their pit, and also is, they're harder to clear away.
Yeah.
Yes. But also you
Cool.
can run the risk of inadvertently helping people.
That would suck.
Yeah. If you drop an apple and it just happens to bounce and land on an apple that they've already placed, then you kind of help them out. So
Nice.
it's a pretty decent little multiplayer mode. If you have someone in your house right now who also enjoys that game, it's worth picking up.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the online is coming later. But the big thing that I've been playing these past couple weeks is I finally broke down, now that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth has released, I finally decided to start playing the first Like a Dragon game from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
How old is that game? It's been a while, but I never got
Yeah,
around to
it's a pretty
playing
young
it. I
game
finally
compared to the
started up
rest of my,
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
And I'm very mad at myself for putting it off for so long, because boy, oh boy, is it outstanding. I am super into the Like a Dragon series. As much as I enjoy the Yakuza games, I'm enjoying this one significantly more. Ichiban is one of my favorite video game characters of all time. His buddies, his group of weird, creepy old men degenerates are wonderful. It is great. Yeah. It is really a terrific game. It is hilarious. The RPG battle system works really, really well and is very fun. And I originally was intending to just go into it and kind of plow through the main story, but I've become so attached to the characters and so interested in this weird little universe in which they exist that I have found myself really going down all the little side story alleys and tackling all the subquests and doing all the weird little extra stuff. There's like once you get like 25 hours into the game or something, a business management simulation opens where you sort of end up taking over a snack shop in town, and you are managing employees and doing stockholder meetings that play out like RPG battles in order to earn more money so you can start buying other businesses around the town. It is an incredible game. And I'm having an absolute blast with it. So
in another 2 years, you can finally play Infinite Wealth.
I mean, I've probably put in maybe 40 hours so far. And it tells me
a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. I've been playing it a lot. The game tells me I'm about 40% done with the main story. which feels bonkers. And normally this is the type of thing that would turn me off of a game immediately.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a testament to just how much fun I am having, like I said, with this game, specifically with these characters. It really is the writing and the situations that that you end up tossed into the middle of that are really compelling me to keep going. So
Now, will this be the first of the Yakuza games you will have finished if you get through it?
you know what? I think so.
Hmm.
I think so. Because yeah, I mean, like I said, the Yakuza games, I love them, but they get to be a little long in the tooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is just yeah, it's definitely grabbed me. So, and it cracks me up too, because your main party in this game, you are Ichiban, who is like in his early mid 40s, and he's just this like ex Yakuza gangster, and you end up teaming up with a homeless fellow who was formerly a nurse. He's also kind of in his mid 40s, and a former detective who'd been like fired from the force, and he's like in his 50s. So when you start off, your party is just like these three middle-aged dudes running around the city, getting into these brawls, and it's hilarious the way they play it out because they're all so clearly middle-aged dudes who are just tired and too old to be doing this kind of thing. So every time you get into a random battle, once the fight's over, you have the little camera panning around kind of victory stance like you would see in an RPG, and then like it cuts back to the street, and it's just you see the three of them just like arching their back and like clearly in pain and just not
how I
wanting
feel
to
at the
do
end of
this
the
kind
show.
of thing. So it is it's very good stuff. So I'm and I am at the point where I do kind of feel like once I do finish this game, I might just slide straight into Infinite Wealth because
Yeah.
I want to see where they go next. So
Well, Infinite Wealth also has that Don Doko Island thing that's like,
yeah, the kind of Animal Crossing style
which I
mini game.
hear you don't actually unlock until like 20 hours into the game.
Well, I mean,
God.
it's like the business management sim
Yeah.
of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how this game does unlock stuff. I mean, one of the aspects of this game is it has a job system, and it's kind of like a class system in other RPGs. But instead of like wizards and mages and fighters and thieves, you're like, you can be a
Salaryman.
a host at a bar, or a chef, or a rapper, and and you can change up your job whenever you want, and you get access to new weapons and what essentially are magic spells, new moves that you can use. But that didn't even show up. I didn't even unlock that until like maybe 30 hours in. Just
Whoa.
what you would think would be kind of a core mechanic of the game just shows up after a few dozen hours. So it's good.
Cool.
It's very good. So I'm very happy that I'm finally getting around to playing this. So
Nice. Okay.
but yeah, that's been the bulk of what I've been playing. Is just that, and honestly, I expect that to be the case.
Yeah.
For the next several weeks / months, if I dive straight into Infinite Wealth.
Yeah.
With occasional breakups for me to say, "Oh yeah, I also played Picross S Plus." So please look forward to that.
Nice.
But that's it.
All right. Well, I've been playing some video games too.
Is that right?
Good,
you heard
this
correctly.
show's about video games.
I know.
Are they
right?
good ones?
You came to the right place.
They're pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, the new season of Fortnite Festival started, and Lady Gaga is the artist. in this new season. The Weeknd was the first season, and now we have Lady Gaga as
Ah.
Which
the second
weekend?
season.
Which weekend was the first season?
All of them.
Wait, this weekend
Yeah,
is Lady
Blinding
Gaga?
Lights. So I'm back into playing Fortnite for Fortnite Festival stuff
But
because
just for the weekend?
that's really fun. Just no, I already played for the weekend.
It
Now I'm
sounds like you're
playing.
Gaga for this game.
Come
That's
on,
true.
so festival.
It's true. Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, back at it.
Well, good.
Yeah. And I've also been playing Pocket Card Jockey Ride On because why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a fantastic game.
It's a fun game.
Solitaire and horse racing. Why not? Just a mashup of the two, and it works fantastically. And the art is so super cute, and it works well on Switch. It was out. Ride On was out on the iPhone last year, and works well with touchscreen controls. You can play either via touchscreen or button controls here. And actually, I really like the button controls. I've had no problems playing solitaire using the buttons and the D-pad to select cards and whatnot. I think it plays really well with the controller. I don't have my huge fingers blocking the interface.
Your
anything
giant
like that,
meaty fingers.
That's right.
You should get a little stylus.
No,
You could
no,
you could
I
use your
don't.
Apple Pencil
I
when you
don't
play
want
on
to.
your.
I don't want to though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to help, man.
So yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of that, is what I'm trying to say. And I also tried out Balatro. So you may have heard a lot of folks talking about Balatro on other podcasts. And if you visit any video game websites, probably heard that. It is a poker deck building roguelite game.
This is the game you were talking about
In our Slack, yes.
in our Slack, yes.
Oh,
right.
right. Okay.
And I said
There's a PS Plus game trial of Balatro available, and you can try it out. Yeah, what was your
two of those
what'd you
three
say?
descriptors are turning me off. Where the one, like I was interested. Oh, roguelite, okay. But poker based and deck building is where you start to lose me.
Well, the thing about it is, so it is poker. The idea of the game is you have to construct hands of poker, and
Okay.
the gimmick is that you unlock the deck building part is you are unlocking Joker cards.
Okay.
And they have certain powers to them, and they will play when you like make a hand, it'll have certain effects on that. Multiply the points or like do certain things to the cards. Then you also have like a separate consumable card. You have two consumable cards that have different powers as well. So wow.
CJ got a little celebration of balloons there for some reason.
Excited about this game.
I gotta turn that off.
What did you? What hand motion made those balloons show up on your screen?
This one.
Oh, the peace sign.
The peace sign. Yeah.
Okay.
Two. Yeah.
Okay.
Consumable cards that also can do certain things, like you can choose 3 cards to become a particular suit, which you can get better and better poker hands with using cards like that. So the deck building part is really more to enhance the cards that you're already laying down, and some of them you can actually, there are cards that you can put in the deck of 52 that are regular cards, suits and numbers, and they have special powers too. So there's like a deck building element there, and with each run you have to score a certain amount of points. And the different hands are given point values. So it's a pretty cool game. It is really fun. Like I used to play, so back in the days when I was going to arcades, the Galaxy World arcade in Naperville had and I'm sure a lot of other arcades had this too, but you could play like sort of video poker, but it would give you tickets instead of money. And I would play video poker at the arcade to get tickets so that I
Seems
could,
inappropriate.
I don't know what the hell prizes were offered at the bowling alley / arcade, but yeah, it was probably nothing terribly interesting. But yeah, I would play video poker there. So this is kind of taking me back to that. I'm terrible at regular poker, just gambling of any kind, really. But
Did you say you just don't have a good poker face?
no, I wouldn't say that.
Like in Fortnite.
Like in Fortnite, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the songs you can unlock in the season
Oh,
2.
wow, what a
pack.
There it is.
coincidence.
Yeah, imagine that. So, but yeah, Balatro, having good fun with it. It's on every system. It's on Switch. It's on Steam. It's on
It's on the Atari Lynx.
not on
Yeah,
the
it
Atari
is.
Lynx. It
Well,
should
so
be.
every system.
It should be
Mhm.
though. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Good.
A lot of fun. I would try it out on PS Plus if you have extra, or no, actually the trials are only premium, huh? So you have to have PS Plus premium for that.
Oh,
Yeah. Dabbled a little bit in Pacific Drive. This is a survival game where you are transported to an area of the Pacific Northwest that's been cut off because of different like anomalies that are happening.
Too woke.
And what?
It's cut off because it's too woke.
No.
Okay.
And you drive around in this wood paneled station wagon and collect resources and open up gateways back to your garage. And this one also has a radio buddy thing. There's
Yeah.
like three or four radio buddies
mm.
in this game. But I'm having fun with it, but I'm terrible at survival games just in general. And like resource building and so yeah, I'll have to see how long I stick with this one. But I love the atmosphere of it's great, the music's great, the ambiance of driving through the Pacific Northwest forests where there's a lot of rain and also a lot of weird
Like a
crap
rainforest?
happening. No,
Oh, like a
No.
I mean,
rainy
you could be
forest.
doing this in real
A
life,
rainy
CJ.
forest.
Yeah,
I
I
could
mean,
be doing it in
Just
real
go at your
life.
front door, man.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so I've played a little bit of Pacific Drive. Have done like 2 runs in that game past where the demo left off, and yeah, enjoying it. But I've really been enjoying Helldivers 2. Played a lot of Helldivers 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And I've been playing either with randoms, or I played a bunch with Mike, our good friend. And yeah, had a lot of really fun battles. It's a very cinematic game. Very you get in a lot of like very crazy situations where bugs or robots are swarming you. I played it with Helvita Shunden as well, our good friend and listener. And yeah, we had a lot of fun playing against robots and bugs, and unlocked some of the higher difficulties, and one of them had us hunting down a bile titan, which is just a huge bug that has like a weak point on the very underside of it.
Some kind of smart
And
bug.
it I ran
First,
away
I
from
find the idea of a smart bug to be offensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you shout? Do you want to live forever every time a mission starts? Because you should.
Hoorah!
Oh no, I shout
Lame.
for liberty.
Man, you're not good at this.
Managed democracy. Yeah. It's not a Starship Troopers game. It's its own thing.
Democracy.
But the writing in it is very good. The tooltips are fantastic. They all circle around to the sort of hardcore patriotism and propaganda and stuff. So it's a fantastic game. It's just a beautiful looking game. Plays super well. It's super fun. I would not suggest playing it alone though. Either team up with randoms,
Too scary.
or find some friends. Playing it solo is not going to be fun.
Mm.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And I'm super happy that it's doing well enough for them to continue pumping content into it.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I think they upped the server capacity to 800,000 players now concurrent. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's doing quite well, and I'm very happy about that. It's a great game.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are enjoying it.
I am.
You
very
should watch
much
Starship
so.
Troopers so we can talk about that sometime.
Yeah,
Oh, I
like we
will.
were
And
supposed to today.
I
I mean,
will,
I
and
thought
we
we were doing it
will.
today, but
I will,
That's
and
pretty
we
I
will.
was
excited.
misinformed.
Yeah. All right, Greg, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing the Contra demo, which we talked about earlier, but
Yeah.
just before the show, I ended up finishing the Tomb Raider 1 remaster.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah. So I still love that game. Like I was so happy to have sort of a reason to play through it because I've played it a lot of times.
right.
I don't think I've played through it more than maybe twice.
Mm.
I have a quick question for you, Greg.
Mhm.
The original Tomb Raider, PS1, Saturn,
Mhm.
did that game predate the analog controller?
Yes.
Okay.
Came out the same year as Mario 64,
Oh, okay.
96.
Gotcha.
So, and I believe the analog controller for the PlayStation was 97.
Okay.
I think, because I
So does
think
this new one have analog control?
DualShock was, yes, it does. That was one of the
Oh, well,
things
that's
that
not
they added.
authentic.
Well, no, you can play with the D-pad.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
actually how I played through it.
That's great.
Because the game was designed to be played that way. Like the movement is designed around sort of the grid-based tank
Okay.
controls. So I did try the analog control, and it's great. If that's something that you want, it works fine.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel right to me.
I can dig it.
But yeah, so I played through this, finished it tonight, was really happy about it. I knew I was really close to the end last night when I was playing it as well. And all in all, really super happy that I had a chance and a reason to play through it again. I haven't touched Tomb Raider 2 or 3. However, this does have the Unfinished Business expansion pack, which was part of Tomb Raider Gold, the Tomb Raider Gold release here in North America, which is another 4 levels.
Oh.
Which I've never played through. I do have Tomb Raider Gold, but I never played through the first game on PC. I only ever played through it on the Saturn. So I'm looking forward to playing those. And one of the things that I realized as well when I was sort of looking up sort of the information on Unfinished Business, they've actually, so it's four levels, 2 chapters. And when it was originally released, the first chapter was a return to Egypt, which is sort of the third chapter in the game. Yeah, it's the third chapter in the game. And then the second chapter of Unfinished Business actually picks up literally right at the end of the game, the first game. Like when you finish the first game, you end up you're in a giant pyramid, but not in Egypt. And you end up sliding down this long sort of corridor after you've sort of beaten all the bosses and you've finished the puzzles to make your way out and the place is just falling apart. You slide down there and then it switches to a CGI cutscene where Lara escapes the island and drives away on a boat. But this chapter of Unfinished Business starts with her completing the slide down that corridor. So but when it was released originally, it was the second chapter of Unfinished Business. So like chronologically, they were out of order, but they've changed that. They fixed that in this version. The Unfinished Business section starts with her sliding down that corridor right after the end of the original game. Also, they added a New Game Plus. I don't know that New Game Plus was a thing in the original game. So now I can go back, and basically what that means is that you just start with all her weapons. Like in the original game, you start with the revolvers, and that's it. When you play New Game Plus, you start with the revolvers, the shotgun, the magnums, and the Uzis. So
that's cool.
It's kind of neat. I will say, and I mentioned this in our chat, and now that I've seen the credits, I'm not I know I'm not right about this, but I had said in our chat that as I was working my way through the game, it really started to feel like any QA testing that was done was automated testing. And by that,
Oh,
I
right.
mean, that we were running scripts or something just to make sure the game didn't crash and or soft lock or anything like that, because it doesn't. It's solid that way for sure. But the deeper into the game I was getting, the more I was seeing like some areas that just weren't lit. Or I did see a section where there's actually an ammo pickup that's just floating out in midair. So you can't get to it, which also means there's a trophy you can't unlock, as far as I can tell. Just a lot of or there was another thing where there's some set dressing that just wasn't there. Like when you went to the old graphics in one room in actually the Egypt chapter, there's like a statue against the wall. But when you switch over to the modern remake graphics, it's not there. But the shadow for it is there. You know what I mean? So there's just
Right.
and it's not none of this stuff is off the beaten path. This is all like critical path stuff that you would just run into while playing the game. Even if you weren't looking for secrets, you weren't looking around, you would see this stuff. So yeah, but when I did finish it, there were a lot of QA folks listed. So I'm guessing that they probably just didn't have the time they needed to really properly test all this stuff. I hope that they patch it.
Well, either that or they tested all that stuff and noted all that stuff, but there was no
And
more
it didn't get
time
fixed.
left
Right.
to fix it.
Yeah. It was all KS'd.
Hmm.
There's no unshippable for anybody who doesn't. Anyway.
Yeah.
So just little nitpicks. I mean, it still played great. I still really enjoyed it. It doesn't crash, it doesn't fall apart. It all plays exactly the way it feels right. But it did start the deeper I get into it, it started to feel buggy. So but yeah, overall, again, super glad that I played through it. I do want to play. I'm definitely gonna play through Unfinished Business. I don't know that I'm gonna dive directly into Tomb Raider 2 because I still haven't finished Alan Wake 2. I'd really, really, really love to finish that game at some point. I think I'm close to the end of it. But yeah, Tomb Raider, the remasters are great, and for the price, you're getting a lot of game there. I would highly recommend it for sure. Good stuff.
Good.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Oh, tweet, a tweet.
All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Apocalypse 7, who says, I was curious, now that it's been a bit since it released, what whimsical Phil thought of UFO robot Grendizer. I just finished it this week and I had a blast with it.
I don't know. I haven't played it really.
You bought it though?
I did.
You did buy it. Okay.
I did. I recently bought it. Where did I buy it from? Amazon. I think it was part of some like Amazon buy one game get one for 50% off deal.
So you got a physical copy.
I got a physical copy of it for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I popped it in briefly and played through a little bit of the first level. You kind of get dumped into a map, and you kind of like a big overworld, and you run around and you fight some things. But then I haven't touched it since. So it's,
I see. Okay.
Seemed okay. It didn't seem immediately terrible, which is honestly kind of what I was assuming it was going to end up being.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Let's pretend I'm on EGM and I'm going to write my review based on 10 minutes worth of gameplay.
Oh no.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Is it a kiddie game? Baby game?
It seems like, it seems like something that the kiddies might enjoy.
Is it actually a game?
I mean, you know what? No, it is a game. It is a game. There are you're shooting things. you're punching things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely qualifies as a game. It's got shooting and punching. Actually, does it have shooting? I can't remember. It might have just been punching.
Wow.
I only played it for a couple minutes. Please understand.
I see.
But 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I will give it a deeper dive if I can ever finish the Like a Dragon games.
Nice.
So no, then.
Okay.
So probably not. But I do. It's sitting right there on my shelf.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this one from Acralius Blarcade, who says Tomb Raider seems to be being embraced by a pretty large group. What other PS1 era games would you like to see get the 1 to 3 treatment? Soul Reaver comes to mind.
Soul River would be great. That would be
Yeah,
a
that'd be a big
wonderful,
one.
a wonderful series to do this to.
Yeah.
Other
Other PS1 era games that you'd like to see revived.
in sort of these 3D upscale type thing.
Yeah.
Nothing is springing to mind now.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But yeah, but Soul Reaver is a great point or a great selection.
Yeah.
So-
Soul Reaver would be Legacy of Kain just in general, right?
I was gonna say, just throw Legacy of Kain in there. The game is basically unplayable at this point, but
I wouldn't I mean it's Crystal Dynamics game, right? Though it's or I guess does Microsoft own the who owns Soul Reaver?
Why would
at this point?
Microsoft own Soul Reaver?
You know what?
I don't think
I don't know,
Microsoft.
you're
Jumping
right.
Flash.
You're right. Not Microsoft.
Yeah.
Give me Jumping Flash.
You think Jumping Flash would modernize well though? I guess maybe. I don't know. Do you think people would be interested in playing a new jump or
Well, that's a different question. I think the question
Yes,
was, what
that's
do
true.
you want to see, right?
Oh,
Not
you're
what
right.
do I. I'm not
You're
saying
right.
that game would sell to anyone who wasn't, say, me,
right.
but I would personally love to see Jumping Flash with analog controls and modern
Yeah.
graphics.
Yeah.
So yes.
In the chat there, Mr. Y mentioned Siphon Filter. That'd be another great series to do something like this with.
Was Siphon Filter ever good though?
Yeah, it was.
Was it? Was it though?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll continue
Wow.
to say yes.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was a good game. They were good games.
Yeah. I get. Yeah.
I think the
maybe,
biggest
maybe.
thing is I seem to remember them getting compared to Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah.
Yes.
and that was
I
not
remember that.
fair to Siphon Filter because that's not what Siphon Filter was.
I guess that's true.
But-
Yeah. Indeed. All right. Let's finish up with this one for this week. From Hackeralius, Mr. Nelson, who says, if you could relive an era of gaming with the same fresh eyes you had then, what would it be?
Late 90s.
Late 90s. Oh, I would go late 80s.
I do.
Also
Yeah.
I do probably mid 80s, early NES.
Well, yeah, I would do, yeah.
Yeah.
86.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I said late, I meant like the second half of the decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be good.
Early NES era when video games were coming back from the crash,
Yep.
and
You'd go to the rental store on the weekend and just be presented with
Nintendo games.
Nintendo
Yeah.
games. And it would be
Yeah.
magical, right?
yes, yeah, just because it was all new, it was all different. The leap in graphic capabilities was so impressive at the time, going from like
Yeah.
2600 to Super Mario Brothers type stuff. And yeah, that era of like learning about games through Nintendo Power Magazine. Yeah, going to the rental stores and just seeing what they have, discovering new games
Yep.
from sitting on the shelf of some little family-owned video store.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. That era of Toys R Us where you went there and took the tickets
Oh, absolutely.
up to the front to get your game. Yeah. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Great era. Yeah.
I have a Bill Mudrun
Yes,
print
as do I.
chronicalizing that exact moment
Yes.
in history hanging up on my wall.
And of course, there was that other aisle where they had all the systems behind glass.
Oh yeah, the big glass display case
Yep.
with all the systems and accessories on display.
Yeah. That was super
Yep.
cool. Mm.
It was a good time.
It was a great time in video games. Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty, I think that's it.
I mean,
I think so.
that was, of course, the answer we were going to have is like
Well, the answer you guys were going to have.
8
I
or
didn't say that.
16-bit era. You know, no, oh, the 2010s for
90s.
sure. You know, we're not going to say that.
No.
No. I think anyone
Of
who's going
our
to
age
answer that
gonna
is
say
going to
NES.
answer the
Unless your
era
name's
when
Greg
I
Stewart.
was a kid or like in high school.
Unless you're Greg Stewart.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that we're
We don't
treating
count
this like
Greg.
it was unanimous.
We don't count Greg.
Everybody can agree.
Oh, I think there was no other answer. I mean, anyone our age is going to say this.
Exactly.
Right.
Anyone who's anyone.
Right.
Would say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
There you
Can't
go.
argue with that.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters or any other social media platform that you may go to, but we're generally on X and Threads. Yeah.
CJ's
And
on Threads.
I'm on
Yeah.
Threads.
Phil and
Yeah.
I are on
CJ's
Blue
the
Sky.
CJ's the only one on Threads.
I think we can
No,
agree that anyone our age is on Blue Sky.
it's going to be on Threads.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Threads.
Anyone who's anyone.
Yes.
And we also have an internet website, player1podcast.com, where you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD. Mr. Greg Stewart, you'll find Generation 16 episodes as well. You'll find show notes and links to all the things we talked about on this episode, and a link to our Discord server where we can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch televisions. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evening. Like what you've heard, and how could you load these 900 episodes? You can visit us at patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ is so exhausted from the hard work of watching his wife hang up all those pictures in his.
Why do you say that it was my wife who hung up the pictures?
I mean,
Couldn't
someone
have
had
been
to
me?
do it, and we
We know it wasn't me.
we sat for
Yeah.
years and watched someone who didn't do it. But he wants to get her something nice.
Yeah.
For taking care of that for him, you know. Some nice scented candles.
Oh,
Maybe a bottle of bubbly. You know, so help support CJ by donating.
That's not how that works.
To Patreon. No. Your funding, your Patreon support, of course, goes to help our show, keep us streaming and all that such.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, though, the friendos, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this. We play games, crack wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. You guys had some sort of chat last week about something, right?
We did.
What did you guys
Yeah.
talk about
Pretty
last week?
awesome.
We chatted about 1996
The year.
last week. The year.
Yeah.
And what we were doing. And that was actually when I met you, Phil. You'll remember.
I know.
In 1996.
When I darkened your doorstep. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a chat about what we were doing in 96, what games we were playing and enjoying. It was a fun little mini show. It was like 45. We ended up talking for like 45 minutes.
Wow. Look at you two.
Yeah.
Well, you can join us for
it was. Yeah.
Conversations like that.
Yeah.
With just a $5 Patreon support. CJ, do you remember?
Yeah.
Back in 96, do you remember? Because I was working at EGM at the time.
Yeah.
And you had just returned.
Yes.
Because you were away from EGM for a little bit and you had returned.
Yeah.
And do you remember when we first bonded?
This is a kid. This is
not
a family
like
show.
that, Greg.
Yeah.
Goof.
What did we bond over?
We bonded over Japanese video games.
There you go.
I think you may have been looking at a Tokimeki Memorial game. And I said, "Hey, what's that?" I like anime.
I like Japanimation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you explained it, and I was like, "Oh,
Memorial.
sounds neat."
Well,
We're
before that,
now.
Tim Rogers 4-hour long video about Tokimeki Memorial.
I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah.
No offense to Tim, but I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
So yeah, head over to Patreon, and I'll tell you what, if you got a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up in the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
so cheap.
There he is. We missed you last week.
You.
Everything okay? Were you sick too?
Well, you know what? I had to be with Phil during his trying time. You know, he couldn't really speak. So I served as the voice of Phil.
That sounds like the best time to be around Phil.
It was nice. Let me tell you, his family loved it.
I imagine they did.
Oh, you bet.
Anyway, you get access to the vlog series that I call the Weekly Commute, where I talk about what I'm working on. I play games. I crack wise. I do all the things I can't do on the regular Generation 16 series.
There it is.
So please consider supporting the show.
It's also cheap. Is that it?
Satan already said that, but
that's it.
Well, yeah, I know. I probably shouldn't step on his hooves.
No,
No.
especially since he was supporting you last week.
He. You know what? Nice guy.
Surprisingly nice guy, right?
Nice guy.
Yeah.
I
love how we just dip our toes into blaspheming every week. It's great.
It's blasphemy. I love it. Hey, you know what I'm excited about? 99 more episodes. And then you get Upside Down Devil. We'll be introducing a new character, the Upside Down Devil, in 99 weeks, folks.
Australian Satan? Is that the...
What's that?
Would it be Australian Satan?
Crikey! Down under Satan. Me hearties.
I don't think they say me hearties in Australia.
No, I don't think so.
No. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
We go.
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
Absolutely. And Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Obviously. And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darned one of you. As always, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself.
Be kind to stray animals.
Be kind to all animals.
Yes.
Man, they're animals. They're great. And, well, we hope to see you next week for the big 901.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.